I'm here today to give some technique or ways where international student who is in the United States of America finding different ways on becoming a permanent resident through employment. I know it is very difficult. Many international students are here. Maybe they want to become permanent residents or to stay here for a long time, but they do not know how to go about it. But one of the way usual, we have something is called the OPT, Optional Practical Training. So I want to explain to you as international student how you can utilize your OPT status, your optional practical training, turning OPT into a sponsored job and employer to turn that sponsored job to become a full sponsorship to green card or becoming a permanent resident. Hello everyone, welcome to the EBM Scholars. I'm EBM Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and I'm here today to give you different ways, different route on how you can be able to succeed if you are an international student. For those who do not know, in the United States, there is something called the OPT, because some people, they are here studying, but they do not know what is OPT. OPT is abbreviation for Optional Practical Training. There is something else called the CPT. I'm not talking about CPT, I'm talking about the OPT, Optional Practical Training. It is overall is a practical training opportunity for students to practice what they have studied, to get work experience, professional work experience in America, either before they go back to their home country. But that practical training is optional. That's why it's called the optional practical training, because once you graduate, you can go back to your home country without doing it, or you can do that one and go to your country. It's a guarantee if you apply for the OPT, you'll be given OPT. So, I'm going a little bit about OPT and how you can be able to turn this OPT to H1 visa, which is a working visa, and the working visa to permanent residence. So, in OPT, there is what we call pre-OPT and the post-OPT. You have to know that international students, in a normal way, they are basically allowed to work on campus for 20 hours per week. And then, during the school is closed, you can work any time of hours of campus. The purpose is to make sure that the students are full-time here, concentrated in studying, not coming here to find money and focusing more about getting money instead of studying. So they don't want to take like people instead of finding education, we come for education. That will be the main purpose of your visa, to be here as a full-time worker. So come as a student working as part-time. That's one way. So there is a way you can get optional practical training. Some people, they take a pre-OPT. While you are studying, you can take your OPT. While you are still studying, that means you are allowed to work full-time, professional, off campus. But I will not advise you for you to do that, and I'll tell you why. But if you do post-OPT, the post one is the one after completion of your studies, then you are going to do OPT. So the duration of OPT is 1 year, in most cases, for people who are studying these social science subjects. For those who are taking the STEM, the science technology programs, it is 1 year and 6 months, 1 year and a half. But they can get extension up to 24 months, that means up to 2 years, depending on the nature of extension, things of that nature. So, at what time you need to apply? So, as I say, I'm going to advise you to do the post-OPT, post-completion of your studies, to apply the practical training. So, number one, why am I saying you have to apply the post-OPT, post-completion of the studies? Because if you want to turn your OPT to become a fully employed, they cannot just take you while you are still studying. It's better to finish your studies. And still, if you are going, let's say you are studying maybe mechanical engineering, you have 18 months. So if you take 1 year while you are studying, remember you have remained with the half of the year. You see? So it's better to do at the end. That means it is a possible or quicker way to turn it into full employment. Someone can sponsor you. So, and you can be able to go to many states. But if you are going to do pre-OPT, that means while you are studying, let's say you are in Chicago, you'll be technically forced to find a job in Chicago only, because you have to continue studying and working. But if you do, after completion your studies, you are eligible to apply to any job within the continental United States of America. So which one you have more chances, more employers, more opportunities across the nation. So that means you can be able to apply compared if you are restricting yourself only to one city where you are studying. So that is another advantage. So how much is the fee? The fee at the time I was doing my OPT back in the day, 2010, 9 years ago, it was 380, but now it is 410. But then there is biometric or fingerprint, whatever. So it's like 85. So total is just like 495. So like 500 fee you have to pay. You have to fill that one at least a month or 2 months before you complete your studies. So you must make the decision if you are going to graduate in end of May, but by March you have to fill the form. You fill with the International Student Office. Once you fill the form, is called the form to get the permission to work, which is the I-765, immigration form number 765, application for the employment authorization. So you'll get what we call the employment for authorization, working authorization. So you're going to get what is called EAD, employment authorization card, EAC, whatever. So you are going to get the card, which you will be allowed to work on with any employer. Usually it will be 1 year if you are you are social science, but if you are STEM, it will be 18 months. So that card is the one also someone who is applying for green card, it will be getting while he's waiting for the green card. So that means you'll be allowed to work with any employer at the time you'll be waiting. So this is the good part. As I said, apply at the end after completing your studies. So that means your card will start working right after completing your studies to find employment with any employer within the US than if you are doing while you are doing your studying. So the technique is this one. How can you turn your OPT now? So first of all, you have to apply for OPT. But how can you turn your OPT to become a H1 or working visa? As I mentioned, like there is another video I've talked about how you can be able to find those jobs. So find jobs. Number one, the jobs in states or cities which are very remote. The states and the cities which don't have many labor force. Many professionals are running away from those cities. That means if you go there, they will embrace you. If you go there, they will be likely to sponsor you so that they might need you a lot. But if you go to the states which there are so many people already with a green card, already with the citizenship, with the same skill sets, you'll be having hard time. Why is an employer employ you, a computer science person, and start going through, getting through the Department of Labor to get a certification, to get approval from you, while there is another American citizen with the same qualification or someone with a green card. But if you go to the remote states, you go to Montana, you go to Wyoming, you go to North Dakota, South Dakota, you go to West Virginia, those first states, you go to Alaska, you are most likely to be embraced and this employer to give you a working visa and sponsor you. Because many companies, if you go to their website on the job description or the overall website of the company, they write there, we don't sponsor anybody. So while you are looking for employment, yes, you can look for everyone to start with, but you are allowed to find jobs for employers, the employers who are likely going to sponsor you. So find companies, organizations, institutions which are likely able to sponsor you. For that case, especially for the states which they are not competitive enough, there are not a lot of competitive jobs in your area of specialization. So that is one of the ways you can be able to do that. So you apply for many jobs. Once you go there, you are likely to ask the employer to sponsor you. So once your employment is about to end, your OPT, practical training is about to end, they will convert your OPT to become H1 visa, which will be easy. And then they'll convert your H1 visa to become permanent resident. They will sponsor you. So that is the way on how you can be able to do that. So as international student, so for that case, another technique you can do, There are those, for instance, there are degrees, for instance, public policy. But there are universities, they have what they call Masters of Arts, MA, in public policy. But there are certain they call Masters of Science in public policy. So if you take MS, Masters of Science in public policy, because it is MS, automatically, it's the same public policy, it doesn't change, but one they call Masters of Art, others they call Masters of Science. So if you take MS, public policy, you will be having 18 months of OPT, and likely can extend to 24 months. That means 2 years of OPT. So if you work with one employer for 24 months, likely that person will be able to sponsor you. Even if you work for 18 months, even for 1 year, sometimes it is easier someone to sponsor you after seeing what you are capable of doing, instead of just employing you from day one and sponsor you because they do not know how capable you are to handle and execute the job description and duties you're supposed to do. But if you are employed, you are coming with the OPT, you already have the working permit, you are not expecting further employment, and you do fantastic job, you ask for sponsorship, they will sponsor you. So, number one is get OPT. Secondly, find jobs in companies where they can sponsor you, and find jobs in states or cities which are very remote, where there are not many people who are able or like to go in those areas. Many people are running away from those areas after getting bachelor degree, master's degree, PhD. Go to those areas. I know some people, they came to West Virginia while I was in West Virginia, became professors, teaching at the college. After getting green card, then they left, down the road they left. That's another way you can be able to do that. You don't need to go there and stay forever. You can stay for 5 years, work there, and then move away to another places. So that is a technique for international students who are in the US. Think about that and plan appropriately. Start doing research, which cities, which states, they are usually offer a lot of sponsorship to international students in the area you are studying, and start applying to those areas once you have OPT. And you'll be having opportunity to apply to any company, any party within the US, compared if you do pre-OPT. Pre-OPT, you'll be required to find a job not far away from the university so that you can be able to attend the classes as normal while you are studying. And you'll be they cannot just give you the job and you quit your studies quick way, but it will be better if you are already you have completed your studies to be able to do that. So that is a way I was trying to share with you, everyone. Like for international students, that is how you can start figuring out. You can plan your OPT in a very appropriate way, how you can convert your OPT to become a H1, and from H1 to become, or just you be employed directly to be sponsored for green card. But if you don't, you'll end up getting a job to company A because you see, oh, I get just a job, you're excited, and down the road, 1 month later, you come to, oh, this company doesn't sponsor me. And then you OPT is over, you get confused. What should I do? Should I go back or become illegal or whatever? So better way, you have to find out very early how you can be able to do that in a very legal way without getting in trouble. So thank you, everyone. And if you're an international student in America, F1, comment here below. And if you need assistance on how to find those kind of jobs, find me and I'll be able to help you. Thank you, everyone. And goodbye, all the best. Remember to subscribe, remember to share this video to another international students here in America.